Hello, I'm Solara. I'm going to be doing a ball workout today for everyone. It's going to be about 20 minutes. You want a ball and a mat, and we're going to do some things using a wall. And if you don't have a place where you can put the ball against a wall, you could prop it on a chair just so it can be stable. So let's go ahead and begin. We're just going to have our feet on the ball, but the ball is against the wall. And then you want to find yourself roughly 90 degrees at your knee and at your hip. And your feet are really standing on that ball. So you can have them all the way together if you like that. You can have them a little bit apart. Don't have them so wide that the feet can't be pretty flat. And you want to let your feet really relax and flatten around the shape of the ball. So that will mean you're never pulling your toes up, you're never pulling your heels up. You're going to keep your foot just on that ball surface and let your foot stand. And if you feel pinched up, just scoot back a little because you want to let your spine be able to relax neutral. So you're just going to rest a moment, take a couple of breaths, inhaling through your nose. And as you exhale, let the belly sink and deepen and tone, but not tighten. Just find that breath and that belly. Sinking abdominal wall, kind of spreads your pelvis heavy, relaxes your lower back, draws your ribs a little more down into your belly so they're not lifting your spine up out of the ground. But that low back is soft. You're not pressing your low back into the mat. You want to feel that neutral place where the natural shape of your back is just allowed to be. Next time you pull your belly in, let it take you into that Coccyx Curl, that Pilates pelvic tilt where you're lifting your tailbone and rolling your lower back towards the mat, and then you're rolling back to your neutral place. And do a few. As you exhale, deepen your belly and try to zip the pubic bone up to the navel. And then you roll back down. As you find your neutral, your ribs stay neutral as well. They all lift up to send your hips down. You're going to feel how that ball makes it a little harder because it's slightly unstable, but the wall is holding it still. And then you're going to take the next curl up to your bridge. And as you're curling up, focus on pulling with your legs. Try to avoid your legs pushing you back further away from the wall. So the belly pulls your spine, the legs pull your pelvis. You've got two directions of energy to keep you from moving off that wall, and then you roll back down. And inhale up, and exhale, curl. We're just going to do 3 or 4. You're going to find a lot of hamstring work with the ball. And you might even notice you lean into one foot more than the other. Try to balance your weight between your 2 feet. Exhaling, curls you up vertebrae by vertebrae. Keep tucking. Tucking the pelvis will let the glutes share the work, but then also keep sinking. If your belly doesn't do its share of the work, that's when the hamstrings want to cramp. So really take one last time feeling the belly do the work for your spine. And your hamstrings are just helping you curl better and helping you stand through your feet, but they're not working harder than they have to because we don't want to move the ball. Now, if you have scooted away at all, just scoot yourself back a little. We're going to give our balance a test. We're going to curl up to that top of our bridge. Let your arms help you. Press them into the ground. Try to lift one foot up. Pull the belly in so that hamstring being by itself isn't too much for it. Find your stability. Inhale, exhale, pull the other foot up. And then find both feet back down. And then we're going to roll back down. Pull the belly in, vertebrae by vertebrae, brings you back to neutral. Now let your legs rest. Put your feet just on the top of the ball. And just give one leg a gentle scissoring up towards the ceiling, hamstring gets a little stretch, and take it back down. And again, you're going to notice, even when you're resting, your abs and your legs do a little bit because that ball isn't completely stable. And you're just giving your hamstrings a moment after that hard work to kind of release and lengthen. One more each leg. And notice your belly is going to do a bit of work to keep your pelvis stable so you're not twisting to lift one leg or the other, but it's gentle. Now go ahead and let's just take a moment to wake our abs up. So we're going to begin chin tucks to chest, curling your head without lifting it out of the ground, and then relax. So just do that one more time. Just nodding your chin to your chest to feel the front of the neck engage and the back of the neck start to curl long. Now you're going to curl and lift your head, but just your head. A little kind of wake up for the neck. If your neck hates doing this without help, your hands can hold your head. But when we curl, our neck has to work. So this is waking those muscles up. Now, if you want to put your hands behind your head, go ahead. We're going to curl further up. Chin, head, rolling through the upper back, but keeping the neutral, keeping the legs soft, resting on that ball. And then I'm going to roll back down. And I'm going to take one more time. I curl my chin to my chest, my head curls, my neck curls, my upper back and my shoulders curl. And then I'm going to stay at the top of the curl for me. And I'm just going to float my feet up off the ball into that tabletop shape. And I'm going to breathe in. And while I breathe out, sink that belly in. And just take a couple of breaths here. Belly expands, inhale. Belly deepens, exhale. And I'm trying to continuously curl a little more. If the neck feels it wants that support of your head in your hands, let your hands hold your head. And try to keep curling. And then curl back down and hug your knees to your chest. So we have curled from our tail and we've curled from our head. And now we're going to sit up and take some of those actions using the ball. So you're going to have your ball under your butt. And you want your feet to be, for this first thing, your feet have to be a little further away than a 90 degree. Now you want a ball that's big enough and full enough of air that you feel like you can sit relatively 90 degrees. I have a really small ball because I'm really short. Most people, the standard ball is best. But you know, if your ball isn't the perfect size for you, you can wind up scooting yourself a little forward so you don't feel too high. Now, find that sense of your feet rooting into the floor because they're going to be the only thing giving you stability as we go through these movements. So I'm going to just find my neutral sitting. I want my head over my shoulders, over my ribs, over my pelvis, and I'm on my sits bones. So I'm not tucked, not arched, I'm neutral, in between. Feel your sits bones try to sit through the ball like your feet sit through the floor, and that's the way to keep some stability. Now I'm going to take the Coccyx Curl, curling from my tail. And I can only go so far before my knees have to move. I don't want my knees to go in front of my toes as I'm here. They'll move forward a little bit, but don't let them move too much. And then you uncurl your pelvis. It's easy to pull your body with your knees and your legs create the action. Try to find the action in the pelvis. Curling the pelvis like tailbone pulls the ball forward. Pulls your tail under. But your head and your shoulders don't want to really move much in the backward direction. Try to keep your head floating up high, but your tail just zips under, feeling the belly deepen to tuck and curl you down low. We're going to take one more time. Exhale. Same feeling of pulling that belly and zipping that pubic bone up. Now when you curl to your furthest back point, walk your feet a little bit forward, just until your sacrum's on the ball. The key is to stay round. So the action won't be so big that you arch your back. Hold your head with your hands or reach your arms out for balance, whichever feels better for you. We're gonna curl back a bit, try to keep that roundness, and then curl up a bit to where we started. The goal is to move your spine and not move the ball. Exhale to come up. Inhale to go down. Exhale to come up. If you'd rather breathe the other direction, you can breathe whatever way you want to breathe, but make sure one motion has an inhale and one motion has an exhale where you deepen that belly deeper as the air goes out. Last time. And then walk your feet back and sit up again. Great. Now we're going to add a little bit of rotating the shoulders. So just as you sit here for a minute, hands are going to come behind the head. Don't open the elbows too wide because that pinches the shoulder blades closed. Let your chest be open and your shoulder blades be open. Elbows will be a bit forward. Now without moving your knees or twisting your hips or moving the ball, see how far can your chest rotate. And then try the other way. Keeping the spine stable through the center of your body and just rotating the shoulders and letting the head follow the shoulders. I'm not trying to twist my neck. Just one more time. Figure out those ribs will wind up wrapping around the waist, but lead with your shoulders. Don't over twist. So that's that twist action. Now we're going to curl the tail under. Walk the feet out again, back to that place where our pelvis is on the ball, our knees are bent. I am going to curl back and twist one way and come up and find my center. Rotate the other way as I curl back. Untwist, find my center. Don't go so far you stop rounding your spine. Don't twist so far that you move your legs or your hips. And don't move the ball, move your spine on the ball. Curling and deepening that belly every time you exhale. Breathing and sinking. Last one, curling back in one direction and finding the center. And then have a little moment to take a little break. Then when you're ready, walk back out to that same position. Curl back as far as you can curl back with your deep, deep strength, and then you're just gonna twist back there, wrapping your shoulders one way, the other. No hips twisting, breathing, breathing. It's probably burning, so maybe we'll do one more. And then you're going to pause, and you're gonna walk even further. Let your butt get as close to the floor as it needs to for your upper back to be able to rest around the ball, and if it's comfortable, you can send your arms out and do a big chest stretch. And now, the further you send your head towards the floor behind you, the bigger the arch your back will get. Don't arch so far that your back feels angry. Keep your lower back relaxing into the ball. You don't want to have your butt up, you want the ball to support that. So don't go so close to the ground that your back hates it in either direction. Figure out where it feels nice to be. Now reach your arms up to the ceiling. Spread them back behind you and allow the belly to stretch a little bit. Keeping your feet planted firm will keep you from falling over. Now, if you're struggling with your balance, you can keep your hands on the ground. You can widen your feet wider apart. Do whatever you need to do to not fall off. And now the challenging moment will be coming up. Bring your hands under your head, support your head. Curl from your head and roll and walk your feet. And roll and deepen your belly and walk your feet and sit yourself up. Great. All right, so that was some curling. Now we're going to do some arching. We're going to take some extension of our spine using the ball. Again, I'm going to go back to the wall. The wall is going to hold that ball in place. And I'm going to have
going to be just in a small turnout. My knees are apart, which makes my legs externally rotate a little bit, but it doesn't have to be aggressive. I just want my feet to be, oh wait, what am I doing? I'm completely backwards. I want my feet against the wall and I want the ball under my stomach. Has anyone been experiencing this where your brain just doesn't quite compute properly and then you realize, oh, I'm all discombobulated. This pandemic has made all of our brains less organized. So I'm in that same leg shape, but the wall is holding my feet and the ball is under my stomach. So getting yourself situated how far you should be from the wall is a little bit figuring out trial and error. I want a roughly 90 degree in my knee. My feet are making a small V. I have my toes up on the wall because trying to tuck your toes on the floor can be very uncomfortable and just doesn't even help you. Feet are on the wall. Ball is under the belly. And I'm going to round over. I've got a curve, my head and my tail are both curving. I'm going to reach my head and my chest up into my swan action. My arms are in front of me. Then I'm going to see, can I take my chest further? I'm going to arch my upper back and my chest. I don't want to get to a place where my lower back feels angry, so I go as far as I can go. You're going to go as far as you can go, and then you're going to round back down. And let's do that again. Exhale, look forward with your eyes. Let your head and your neck start to extend. Pull the belly in, push it to the wall enough to stabilize yourself. Don't let yourself move away from the wall. Lifting that chest as far as it will lift. The arms are a little in front of me. I don't want to try and get it behind me because that's not going to work the way the shoulder works. And then I'm going to come back down. Now this next time, if it feels good, you're going to take it one step further. You're going to bring the eyes up, bring the head up, bring the chest up, bring the arms up, and then you're going to see, can you straighten your legs however straight they want to get. I am really lifted up high. You may not want to lift this high for your low back. Now, let your knees bend. And then you come back down the same way you've gone before. And we're going to do one more time like that. And if that doesn't feel good, keep sticking to the first one. Lifting the spine up. The belly's supporting you, but you're arching your body so the belly can't stay zipped up like it would when you're curling forward because you're curling backward now. Stretch those legs out. As you stretch the legs, they go as straight as they'll go. If your body wants to lower down some, that's normal. Let that happen. Arms a little in front of the body. Now pull the knees back toward the floor. That will give you more space to lift your spine. If it feels good, continue extending just as far as you want. And then roll back down. Now we are going to round over. Some people like to go forward to where their head is really hanging down. Some people's lower back isn't super keen to go that far. You can keep your knees on the ground, or you can be in the middle. Again, the further your head goes forward towards the floor in front of you, the bigger the stretch will be. So figure out where it feels best for you right now. And then just relax. And just move the ball. See if it'll stay. And just take a child's pose for a moment after all that arching. And you can have your head on the ground. You can have your head on your hands if your neck like extra support. Arms can be overhead. They can be behind you. Whatever position feels best for your spine and your neck and your shoulders. Just relax completely for a moment. And then roll yourself up. And we're going to now give your wrists a brief little stretch. If it feels good to do the stretch with them on the floor. You can turn your hands one way, you can turn your hands the other way. For some people that's too extreme. If that's too much, just bending the wrist one direction, bending it the other direction. Just using your hand and not forcing, but we're gonna put weight on our hands now, so that can be nice. You can circle them a little. Now we're gonna go back to that ball being under our belly, but we'll walk. Start scooting back. We will walk. Squeeze the legs gently together to keep stable. Walk as far as it feels stable for you. The further forward you walk, that ball gets down your legs, it gets more of a challenge. Try to find a strong, stable plank. Shoulders are just over the wrist. Try not to move your shoulder in front of your wrist. It's hard on your wrist and it's hard on your shoulder. If you can't go all the way, your shoulder can be behind your wrist, but try not to let it get in front of your wrist. I'm breathing, I'm drawing my legs together, I'm reaching my feet back and my head forward, and I'm just zipping my belly. I'm just hanging out. And then I'm gonna go back. And I'm gonna rest. And let's take that 2 more times. Slow and stable. Walk out as far as it feels good to you. Maybe that ball will wind up under your knees. That's probably as far as you'd want to go. And you're gonna walk. Keep stabilizing with those legs drawing together and the belly zipping up even on the way back. Now this next time we're gonna walk out and we're gonna add something. So find a nice place wherever you are. Now I'm gonna let my hips go up. I'm gonna try to pull that ball towards my chest. And then I'm gonna reach back, I'm gonna find my plank. Go as far as it feels good to you. Squeezing the legs together and pushing the floor away from you. And one more time, pull the belly in to just bring your knees to your chest. Let your spine curl. And then uncurl. And then walk back. And we'll rest a moment. Great. Now we're gonna take a pike. So we were on our hands and we tucked the ball forward underneath. Now we're gonna pike the ball up. So I'm gonna, again, go as far as I feel comfortable, forward. Keeping legs straight. Exhale, try to lift your butt up. Roll the ball towards your chest. And then roll it back away. You'll go as high as you can go. Exhale, drop your head. If your wrists don't want to do these, you can skip them. I wouldn't do this on my knuckles. Like you would do a plank on your knuckles, but I wouldn't try this. One more, exhale, zip the belly, just roll that ball towards you. Keep your legs as straight as you can and then walk back. Keep strong and walk back. And again, relax and hang over. Great. Very good. Now we're going to go back to the bridging. But instead of having the wall holding the ball steady, I'm going to test my own stability. So, having space with that ball to be able to move away. So find yourself back in that starting shape of that 90-degree hip, 90-degree knee, neutral spine. Arms are going to be down on the floor. They will help your balance a lot. The wider they go, the more helpful they are, but it's going to be more like an A. When you come into a T, it's not as helpful. So figure out where your hands want to be, and you can adjust as we go. Just for a moment, roll that ball away from you, stretch your legs out, and then pull it back in. And feel how your belly is helping just keep you stable. And you've got to draw your legs together a little bit to send that ball in a nice straight line. And then bring it back. Get your feet real stable. You can have your feet together or a little apart. Don't have them too wide that your feet aren't flat. Now you're going to curl up to your bridge with the bent legs. Curling up. Your arms help keep you from wobbling.
and curling down. Good, it's really hard to not move the ball. I think of pulling the ball slightly towards me all the time, trying to pull my heel towards my butt as I curl my butt towards my heels, those two directions together. Curling down, beautiful. Keeping your neck and your shoulders soft as possible. This time we're gonna curl up and stay up. I'm gonna roll up, 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 up. Keep my tuck, belly should be sinking. Now I'm gonna stretch my legs and pull them back in. If you can get all the way straight, great. Go as straight as you can, but keep tucking that pelvis. Keep letting the belly hold you up and help you from wobbling side to side. And then you're gonna bring the ball back and you roll back down. Stretch out. Now, get that heel feeling like it's resting on the ball, but the ball's pretty secure. Now we're going to try rolling up with a straight leg curl, vertebrae by vertebrae. It's very different. You can't articulate as much with your legs straight, and you probably won't feel like you're going very high. Just go as high as you can. Let's try it 2 more times. Exhale. Pull the belly in and try to reach the ball away from you as you try to curl up into that deep tuck, rounding your spine up and back down and keeping your shoulders as soft as you can. But your shoulders are going to want to help you not fall over. So if they can help, just try to balance out with the belly and the legs doing their jobs too. Great. Now we're going to take a moment to give those hamstrings a stretch, but we're going to add an ab exercise at the same time. I'm going to curl into that abdominal curl. I'm still keeping my pelvis neutral. My hips aren't going to move, but I'm going to scissor one leg and give it a little gentle pull and stretch that hamstring. And then I'm going to find the ball. And the leg on the ball has to keep working to keep the ball from moving. I want to pull my thigh up by bending my hip and not bend my spine and lift my tail. Curling my shoulders by deepening my belly. One more each leg. Keep reaching the ball away from you as much as you pull your belly back into your spine. Last one. Exhale. Scissor. And then roll down and bring the knees in and hug the knees to the chest. And then let your ball come out of your way. And let's give our glutes a stretch. My hair just decided to escape. We're going to cross one ankle over the other knee and grab the back of the thigh and just give that glute a gentle stretch for a moment. The body will want to twist towards the leg that's crossed on top. Encourage instead to find some weight in the other side, which will create more stretch. And you can be gentle with it. And then put that foot down and switch sides. Breathing. And once the muscles start to relax, that's when you begin to make a little shift to bring the opposite hip down, which will give a bigger stretch to the other side. And then uncross and hug the knees in one more time. Let's do one last thing sitting on the ball. You're going to bring yourself up. Again, sit. Have the feet right under the knees. You want to have a nice 90-degree hip, 90-degree knee. The knees should really be over the heels. We don't want the knee in front of the ankle for this. You want to have a sense that
You're very stacked up, and then you're going to just bounce. And as you bounce, try to keep yourself perfectly aligned, spine over the center of the ball. And the belly has to do some work to keep your spine connected. So you're very straight through your torso. You're letting your spine be neutral. And you can bounce as high as it feels good to you. Letting the shoulders have a little sense of floating and dropping on their own. This is very good for the discs. As long as you don't have disc problems, this is very great. If you do have disc problems in your back, you might want to be very small, very gentle. Go ahead and continue bouncing, but smaller and smaller. Keeping the knees as aligned as you can. And then just let it settle back to where you're just sitting. And just for a moment, breathe. Let your shoulders go up your back and then let them flop down. Sliding the shoulders up. Sometimes we feel we should keep our shoulders down all the time, but that can make them tense. Lift them up and then allow them to relax wherever they want to relax. Pull them up as high as you can, which will squeeze some blood into those tight muscles, and then release. And just one last time, lifting those shoulders up, 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 and then down. And take one last breath, and let's finish with a big extension. So walk yourself back out to that arching place that felt good to you. Head needs to be on the ball. Hips need to be on the ball. The arch is comfortable, so don't reach too far back towards your head, then it's too much arch for you. Bring your arms to the ceiling and open them out to the sides, and just allow your chest to stretch. If you want less stretch, take your arms a little closer towards your feet. If it feels good to take more stretch, start to bring the arms closer towards your head. Just let them hang. And breathe. Now you're going to do that work. Bring your hands under your head. Give your neck support. Exhale. Pull the belly in as you walk your feet and your arm back up. And then you're going to end with the nicest moment of hanging forward one last time. If you like the stability of the wall, you can put your feet on the wall and let that give you support as you hang. If it felt better to keep your feet on the floor, you can do that. If it feels good to go all the way to where your head is almost at the floor, you can do that. Just figure out what feels the best for you. My body likes having my feet up a little bit, so using the walls. Breathing, relaxing your spine around the bone. And then you can come on off at your own time. Alright, so that's some stuff you can do with the ball. A lot of people have one of these balls and it just gathers dust somewhere. It's a great tool. Alright, I hope you like this workout. Again, I'm Solara. If anyone of you has any feedback, if you want to request I work on something specific in the next video, I would just love to hear from you. So you can get in touch with me through the VIDA Slack channel. You can find me online, solarapilates.com. And I will see you again next month with a new workout. All right, take care.